Are red meats unhealthy, and is this killing you?
Also, is counting calories the only way you can lose weight? And how do I scan the food that comes from restaurants? And how are people like Mike Thurston so fit when they drink every weekend while we gain 3 pounds just by looking at a chocolate?
You have probably heard about the 80-20 rule. It's an unwritten rule, it's very famous. It basically says that to get in shapes, it's about being 80% about your diet and 20% about your training. I don't know about the percentage split, but diet is very important. It's important if you want to get fit, feel good, and stay healthy. So you need to get your diet in check. In this video, I am going to reveal to you the biggest lies and misconceptions about diet and nutrition, so you don't have to waste your time. Do you know what's the #1 death cause in the world right now is? It's heart disease. Statistically speaking, 1 of 3 of us will die from a heart disease. And listen, nobody here is immune against heart attacks or strokes, but do you think being overweight and having high blood pressure would increase or decrease your chances?
So standard modern westernized diet is making people more obese than ever. But what's the problem with today's diet?
There are a lot of misconceptions of what a healthy diet is and what isn't. And with so many diet communities like the carnivore, vegan and other fad diets spreading a lot of misinformation, and with big corps manipulating us, it's easy to feel lost. Like, who do you listen to and who do you trust? Because in the carnivore community, they are referring to studies that show how great meat is for you. And the vegan communities are referring to studies that show how bad meat is for you. And we live in a world where money controls everything. So of course is Paul Saladino and Liver King benefiting financially from the carnivore community. And James Cameron, who produced The Game Changer on Netflix, he sold his plant-based food company for 9 figures. Also, with everything else in the world, there are lobbyist groups. There are big corps that are funding a lot of these studies with agendas. That's why there are studies that are contradicting each other.
And why shouldn't you follow the standard dietary guidelines?
Because your average Joe who follows these dietary guidelines is more obese and unhealthy than ever. Because you need to understand that these big corps can also see the dietary guidelines, and they are abusing the shit out of it with marketing and their products. Like fat. Today's dietary guidelines are demonizing fat, and big corps, they are literally milking it. Example, fat-free milk, fat-free yogurt, and even fat-free butter? Come on, man. We overlook the fact that not all fat is bad. Fat is important for our hormone levels. It's good for providing energy. It protects our organs, and it boosts our HDL, the good type of cholesterol. On the other side of the spectrum, we have fad diets like carnivore and keto, who are trying to scrutinize carbs, trying to paint an image for people that all carbs is white bread and pastries, scaring people to think that all carbs is doing is spiking your insulin levels and making you fat, when in reality, all carbs are not created equally. It's a huge difference between something as a complex carb and a donut. Complex carb doesn't break down as fast. It breaks down a lot slower. So you don't have to worry about the same type of insulin spikes as you would get from a donut. This is beef liver, probably one of the most nutritious food you can find here on this planet. So there's one thing that the carnivore community is doing right, and that is they are preaching the importance of protein. Protein is super important for your body's self-repair, also for your bones to build muscles and strength. Also, protein reduces your appetite and hunger levels, so regardless of which diet you decide to stick on, it should be a high protein diet. We have a problem, and that is we don't learn enough of what's really important in school, like
health and nutrition. Had we learned more about nutrition, we wouldn't have been manipulated to think that this berry and this jam is the same thing, when this jam has 43 grams sugar. We wouldn't have been misled to believe that it's okay to feed our children this for breakfast. This Kellogg's cereal was my favorite while growing up. I remember eating it all the time when I was a child. I just recently found out that it has 40 grams sugar in it. So now, each time I look at it, I want to punch my mom in the face for feeding me this. Just kidding. Also, all these chemicals that are put in our food can't be good for us. I don't know if it kills us or not, but it can't be good for our hormones. Like, what the heck is E471? And how the hell are there over 20 ingredients in bread? It should be 4 ingredients in bread. It should be water, yeast, salt, and flour. That's it. We are being played. So instead of learning about real diet and nutrition in school, we are learning about Pythagorean theorem, which has completely been useless since learning it in middle school for me. So no wonder people are turning to these fad diets communities for help.
A big reason why so many are obese today is because we are addicted to fast food. And I feel like I don't need to tell you that it's not good for your health because everybody knows that. But for some reason, people have a misconception that fast food are cheap and that eating healthy is expensive. Let's debunk that.
This Big Mac meal costs $12. That is one meal. Let's say you eat 3 times a day. In a day, that is $36. In a week, that is $252. That is expensive. Here's what I eat in a week. I eat about 8 pounds of red meat. That is more expensive than chicken. I also eat about a pound of salmon, avocados, 3 liters of kefir, 36 eggs, sweet potatoes, and a ton of berries and bananas. And it all costs $130 a week. That is almost half the cost of eating McDonald's every day. And I live in Norway, so everything here is expensive. This food is probably a lot cheaper where you live, unless you live in Switzerland, of course. Also, these food right here are nutrient-dense food. They're really rich in nutrients and they'll make you feel freaking amazing. While McDonald's, on the other hand, is full of calories but is lacking micronutrients and vitamins that you need. And they might taste good and make you feel good for a short amount of time, but afterwards, they'll make you feel like shit. Regardless of which diet you end up with, try to focus on nutrient-dense food. Food that gets you most bang for your buck each calorie. That is why I'm eating a lot of red meat, and I don't understand why they get so much hate, because red meat is one of the most nutrient-rich food you can find. Pound for pound, there's nothing matching red meat. Also, beef liver, even though it tastes like ass, it is one of the most nutrient-rich food you can find here on this planet. And the multivitamin that many of us take daily was originally made to duplicate the liver. If you ask your average gym bro about how to lose weight, he'll probably recommend you to download MyFitnessPal app and begin to track every single damn calorie that you eat and burn. And tracking calorie works. If you track your calories religiously, you'll lose some weight. But in my opinion, tracking calories is a waste of time. Here's why.
Studies have shown that counting calories is effective for weight loss in the short term. But long term, 80% of people who lose weight by counting calories gain it back. And I personally don't think counting calories is sustainable because I've done it and it made me go freaking crazy and paranoid. I couldn't enjoy a meal in a restaurant or a home cooked meal that my mom was making because there were no barcode to scan to tell me how many calories there were in this meal. If you have responsibilities like me, like a family, job, deadlines, personal finance to think about, you don't need one more thing on your mind. Calories in and calories out is also a rabbit hole. I can eat 4,000 calories a day without gaining weight. And Michael Phelps, he used to eat 10,000 calories a day to not lose weight. We have different lifestyles, and our lifestyles changes many times throughout our life. We have different genetics also, and also different metabolism. Also, a reason why most of us want to lose weight is because we want to increase our longevity. And Dr. Paul Saladino, aka Carnivore MD, and Dr. Peter Attia, who focuses on longevity, don't agree on much. But they agree on this one study, which was a huge studies done on rhesus monkeys. And according to Dr. Attia, it will probably never be replicated again because it was so big and there was so much money spent on it that it will probably never be spent so much money on monkey studies ever again. And before you dismiss this because it's a monkey study, just remember that most longevity studies on diets are done on mice. So studying monkeys is a step up because we are more biologically similar to monkeys than any rodents. Anyways, what both Dr. Saladino and Dr. Attia referred to in this longevity study is that monkeys that are eating processed diet had to restrict calories to increase their longevity. But monkeys who are eating a diet close to their natural diet, calorie restriction didn't have any impact on their longevity. So what both Dr. Attia and Saladino is referring to in that study is that as long as you maintain a natural diet, whether then you restrict calories or not might not have any effect on your longevity. So don't bother counting calories because it will make you lose your mind. Try hella to focus on eating close to earth, close to our natural diet. Avoid ultra processed food, seed oils, and try to exercise regularly. Talking about exercises, it's difficult to build new habits in an unsupported environment. We are the average of the 5 persons we surround ourselves with. So if your friend thinks it's okay for you to skip training because it's raining, or it's okay to cheat on your diet every other day, then you are in the wrong room. Because they are hindering your abilities to build new habits. You should surround yourself with people that motivates you and that keeps you accountable for your goals. This is a nice snack. Have you heard about this organic effect? It's a known phenomenon from psychologist Bluma Zerganic. What it basically means is that our head and mental energy will get occupied with something until we close it. For example, you see a clickbait thumbnail and title on YouTube that catches your interest. Until you watch the video and get closure, the idea of what the video could be will live rent-free in your head and eat up your mental resources. How is this relevant to diet, you're wondering? Well, here's how. Don't have any snacks that you shouldn't be eating at home. Because each time you walk past that Snickers bar or something, one, it will drain your willpower to resist it. Two, you'll think about it and will drain your mental energy while you're doing other stuff at home. For me, I can't be having ice cream at home because then I'll think about it all the time until I eat it up. It was literally so bad that if I didn't eat the ice cream, I would become unproductive. I know, it's crazy. This is a bag of peanuts, something I consider a snack. Everybody is trying to sell you on the next revolutionary diet that is going to change the world. We've seen it with vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, low fat, low carb, keto, carnivore, and lion diet. And I'm not saying that none of these diet works. All these diets have their own benefits, and I'm sure that for some people they might work wonders. But there is no such thing as one perfect diet for all of us. And people are making it their life mission to praise and preach eating testicle or eating cheese that are made from horsehair? That's disgusting. Completely ignoring the fact that there might be biodiversity between us. Like a bag of peanuts might be a snack for somebody, but for someone else, that's a death sentence.
Here's an easy solution that is sustainable, healthy, and that won't drive you freaking crazy. And that is just to focus on eating whole food. So it's really difficult to overconsume your calories on eating only whole food. So try to focus on having berries instead of jam. Have real fish instead of fish sticks. And it doesn't matter which diet you are on, as long as you enjoy what you are eating. That is the most important thing. If you enjoy what you are eating, it will be much easier for you to do it over a longer period of time, and that has the biggest effect. And avoid processed food, processed sugar, and also snacks. Avoid those things. And also stay away from alcohol. That is probably one of the most important things, because alcohol leads to a slippery slope to many other unhealthy things. So focus on eating whole food, avoid processed food and alcohol, and that right there is 90% of the diet puzzle. Do you know what's the one thing vegans and carnivore agree on? And that is you should stop drinking alcohol. Regardless of which diet you decide to go forward with, you should stop consuming alcohol, because not only is it bad for your health, but it creates a chain reaction of other bad habits in your life. So it doesn't really matter if you decide to go with carnivore or vegan if you don't have your booze under control. So check out this video to learn how to get your booze under control and learn what it does to your life and your body. Thanks for watching till the end. Please like and subscribe. Stay healthy, keep thriving, and I see you guys on the next one. Peace.